Ajara mi mo bí ẹ mọ̀ Ajara. Mi mo bí ẹ mọ̀. Ẹ jẹ́ kí n júwe fún yín.
Oh, okay, yeah. Mo rí lórí social media tán ní yóò po.
Okay.
That's short abi draft lady.
Yes ma. Now, ori life mo wá ńsìn ma. Mo kàn fẹ́ kẹjọ kẹ educate wa díẹ̀ ni. Wọ́n wá sọ pé ó bímọ twins. Oyún twins ló wà nínú ẹ̀ ma. Àwọn kan wá sọ pé báwo lóyún ṣe máa affect ẹ tó máa fi kú. Mo dẹ̀ ní as a doctor sister, aunty mi ẹ jọ̀ọ́ bá wa gbẹnu sí mic. Kẹ́ bá mi ṣàlàyé fún nǹkan tó lè.
So oyún tó níyẹn was twins.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ma.
Wow. Anyway, with that lady, I don't know her, so I'm not being judgmental. I'm just talking from medical aspect. So meaning it's not personal, I don't know her, but okay. So with draft pregnancy, the first thing is draft pregnancy is high risk pregnancy. That's what it's classified as. And there are so many complications. From day one, they would have been monitoring her. Even she would have probably gone through consultation for so many tests before they can then advise whether she's actually safe to be pregnant, whether she will be able to carry the pregnancy. She would have gone through some kind of at least examination as a doctor. Once he will say this, once he will so many things. Then they would then advise whether it's safe for her. But looking at it that, okay, then she's already pregnant. So like I said, here it will be classified as a very high-risk pregnancy. From day one, she would have been monitored, they would have looked at the size of the baby. And the reason is, they don't really size she gets. They can imagine size Ajara, pelvis nibiti, omomagbadadi. She gets for that size, pelvis will be very, very narrow, very small. Which will make a vaginal delivery very much more impossible. So, number one, she would have probably been put down for cesarean section. That's number one. Looking at the structure, looking at her size is very narrow. So, automatically, cesarean section is inevitable. So meaning what any try to carry you to that time. See breathing, respiration. The more to you bashing gassy area imagine twins. I imagine size normally the bigger the pregnancy, the more you go. Like maybe like from 20 weeks, some people from 25 weeks. Size for it to be able to take a lot of space within that area. Then it will be pressing on the lungs. She will become very, very breathless. I'm affect respiration meaning her respiratory will be compromised. Because size for her will have taken so much space within the area of the lungs, and the pressure will be affecting the lungs, which will then make her more breathless. So this is why I'm saying that the pregnancy itself is very, very high risk. I don't know what they said happened, but I've not read the story, but I've just thought on your but I could be on your trains in Luni. I don't know how that happened. I don't know who advised her. I don't know whether she was seen by the doctor. I don't know whether she 18 weeks, you can then imagine. So naturally go 18 weeks, you can imagine if then she became very ill at 18 weeks. You can imagine size someone 18 weeks. So she wouldn't have been able to carry that child, those children, to full term. Normally she wouldn't, because the more the baby is growing, you can imagine what lungs one day, pelvic or she has very limited space. She has very narrow pelvis, she has very limited space within herself for the pregnancy, for the baby to start growing. So the uterus itself, it's very restricted. The lungs will be restricted. So it's so many complications. It will affect her uterus, it will affect her lungs, it will affect her pelvic. So I don't understand. The spinal cord, but the spinal cord itself, can that spinal cord, can the weight of the baby actually, can the spinal cord carry that weight of the baby? Because it's going to be very narrow. So our structure, our physiological structure itself, it's not safe. I know that Nina is a woman, but I don't know how they do it. I don't know how. But I'm talking from here. What would have happened before she got pregnant? And during pregnancy, what they would have done? She can probably develop high blood pressure, so many things. Only develop gestational diabetes as well. Because there's so many things that is against a structure, a physique. Only the entire else naturally command underlying medical problem. But having a twin pregnancy, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know who or how that happened, who would have advised that. I don't know whether she just wanted to have a child, which is, I feel for her, which is okay. Every woman wants to have a child, you know what I'm saying? But I think maybe she should have been advised, maybe she should have gone through medical, examination or advice before, going into it. So that's what I would say. It's just the physical complication, honestly. I think I say for papa, papa, because you need space to check it. There will be no enough space for that child to actually grow. Someone need physical defect. There's so many things that could have happened. So a lot of things can happen with such pregnancy. Here is classified as very high risk. Very, very high risk. Honestly. So normally what they would have done, so she would have already seen the doctor, they would have probably counseled her, they would have probably given her all the risk factors that it to affect your breathing, your respiration, your uterus, your pelvic, your back. So many things will be affected. Are you actually ready for this? And if she then says she wants to go ahead, from day one, not our monitoring. If they now realize that, okay, the risk is too much, then they would probably advise her to terminate the pregnancy. Seriously. They wouldn't have allowed her to get to the point where she then ended up with respiration problem and all that, and then ended up on oxygen, ended up in hospital, and that's what I've been seeing, that they said she was on oxygen and all that. But I don't think there is enough information out there to explain what actually happened to her, so we cannot.
Because some parole auntie, on suppose kidney problem. Báwo ló ṣe máa jẹ́ the evidence now, so they can come on lie to lie.
Kidney problem.
Liver problem, but that was what they told us.
If she has that, as maybe she has that as an underlying medical problem, the pregnancy will have exacerbated that. I'm telling you the truth. Liver problem here. I don't know what kind of liver problem, maybe liver cirrhosis, or I don't know what liver problem she has. Would have actually made it 10 times worse. But like I said, we do not have the information, so we cannot say but from my experience, and the information is out there if people want to read about it, that do have the patient, we do have to manage to say let's get that final problem as in the shape, the structure. No. I don't know who advised that. They I want to advise saying, oh shit, that honestly. Oh no, go for okay.
Amima, Eshema. Okay, ma.
If there's anything in the flash me, but I'm working on my check.
Okay, Eshema. Bye, ma.